It's still VOP this morning on VOP TV. The federal government of Nigeria has filed terrorism charges against the detained president of Miyetti Allah, Katwal Hore Bello Bodejo, in compliance with the Federal High Court order. In the terrorism charges dated March 12th, Bodejo was accused of undermining the national security of Nigeria by establishing and arming an ethnic militia group without authorization. You may recall that over the years, Nigeria has been battling with the issue of insecurity. Farmers-herders clash has been on the increase, as well as the incessant killings of innocent Nigerians. However, on the major insecurity issue facing the country at the moment is the case of school children who were abducted in Kaduna State. But meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has instructed the defense to make sure these children are rescued and brought back to their families without any ransom. Like I told us before that quick break, that was to have Barrister Darlington Agomo and Dr. Ambrose Bokwe to help look into this topic. Now to you, Barrister, you're on the 17th of January 2024, in Lafia in Nasarawa State, the Miyetti Allah president, Bodejo, actually says he had to empower some groups. He called them the Kungia Zaman Lafia. He empowered them, they are actually the caterers, to be doing or running the activities. And this was what led to his arrest, because on the 23rd of January, he was arrested at the Miyetti Allah's office by the Defense Intelligence Agency, saying that he's undermining the Nigerian security. And he has been taken to court also, but they are looking into that. What do you make of this? An individual waking up to say, I want to empower this group, let them do what they are doing because of the cause, or rather because of the business that they are doing. What do you make of it?
In fact, sorry, I'll be so happy if the federal government will follow this matter to its logical conclusion. This is the first time I'm hearing that the federal government want to prosecute any of these people, and they are following it up. If they have been doing this over the years, maybe this thing wouldn't have escalated up to this extent. In the first place, the man violated all the laws because there is an act, Terrorism Prevention Act, even up to the United Nations. We domesticated it in Nigeria. What that man did was contrary to the laws we have in Nigeria. And I'm so happy that the federal government quickly arrested him because of the wider implication. Do you know what would have happened if that man was allowed to do what he did? Anybody in any of the local villages can set up his own militia. That was why the federal government did not even waste time to arrest him. Any individual can just wake up and arm some people for whatever reason. Before you know it, you have military barracks in all the villages in Nigeria. Military barracks. That was the implication. And that was why the federal government quickly picked him up. So let them prosecute him. Yesterday, Alanda, when they went to court, some people went there to go and start doing aluta or whatever.
Yeah, the protest.
In solidarity.
Protest is coming because of the government's attitude of arresting and not prosecuting, not trying, just keeping in detention. Judgment had come that he should be remanded for 15 days, and then later judgment came that he should be tried or released on bail. But unfortunately, none of that was done. He's just been kept in detention. If government now, I will direct this one to Dr. Ambrose Bokwe. If government has their facts all laid out, why delay trial?
Hello? Hello?
We can hear you.
I can hear you now.
Did you get the question?
I was not. Okay, repeat the question, please.
Okay. Now, we're saying that if government had, outlined everything, all the evidence against Bello, and before arrest, why delay trial? Because now protests are coming up. And if care is not taken, sentiments will be whipped up because this man is being kept in detention without trial. and without being given bail. Once again,
the Nigeria prosecution system normally boggles important cases. They do too much of media trial. They don't do diligent prosecution and intelligence gathering. They just go rush to the media, make some statements, and then try to, gloss over matters. And that is how we have lost a lot of corruption cases and, high-flying issues that would have set judicial precedent and given example of some bad acts. But we don't do that. What we do is do all kinds of abracadabra. We come to the media. We even finish. In fact, we do the work of the judges in the media before we prosecute. And that is why many people get scot-free when they go to the courts, because most of the time, especially in criminal prosecution cases, especially in terms of anti-graft and money laundering or corruption, you find out that these people don't even have enough evidence to nail anybody. Whether it is deliberately done or whether that is the capacity they have needs to be interrogated. So the Constitution says that everybody is presumed innocent until proven guilty by court of law. Mm-hmm. So, but we in Nigeria, the accuser wants to be the prosecutor and wants to be the judge. Just like in many cases that has happened in most of these arms we are floating in agencies we are floating in, even in the state level. And the issue of last month was just recently said also that you cannot be collecting fine. You put your fine, you catch people, you prosecute and put fine. No. The issue of Nigerian Broadcasting Commission too has also come up. That you cannot be an arbiter in your own case. You are finding media houses, you are telling them how much to pay, you are suspending them. You don't have rights. We are not in a military government. And so all these behaviors don't do that. So when the Constitution said you cannot keep people more than 24 hours, then it behoves on you that before you arrest people, assemble your evidence, assemble your case very well. Such a man would have been trapped. The DSS, I know, will have a security report on him and file for a very long time. You build a case so that by the time you are picking him, you are not picking him to keep him. You are picking him to take him to court. But in Nigeria, what happens is that you arrest the person first and then you start investigation. That is not how it works. And that has been the pattern. So many people will get scot-free because by the time you arrest the person, he's acolytes. His collaborators will, of course, find ways to sabotage the prosecution. But if you have been diligently, let me give you an example. When the FIFA, when Seplata was interrogated by International Criminal Prosecution, the former president of FIFA, see the way it was done. They have been following them up for years. And when they assembled all the facts, they were somewhere together when they came for their conference, they picked all of them. And when they showed them overwhelming evidence, they had to even do plea bargain. And that is how to do.
Okay, Dr. Ibokoye, are you still there? Okay, now if you can hear me, all right. Okay, you can hear me now. Now, when we're going through what we have, or rather the background of our topic this morning, we also made mention of the headers and the farmers' clashes. And you can recall that the president said something. He said he just need only 3 weeks for him to curb or stop the issue of the farmer headers clash, stating that he has actually told the governors to plan on how to bring out lands for grazing in all the states. And this actually made the people from a particular region to say that governors cannot release land to a particular group of people who are actually doing their private business. I'm talking about leaving lands now to cattle railers. Now, do you think that this issue between the cattle railers and the farmers, do you think it is going to continue happening, given the fact that the president is making it look like the states must bring out land for private business owners to run their business?
I think the federal government and the state governors are not serious about tackling the issue of header farmers clash. If they are very serious, they know what to do. Even those who have enacted anti-grazing law, who does grazing, open grazing in the 21st century? Nobody does that. It's only Nigeria and some very, very backward countries in the world that still do that. The highest meat producing nations don't even do those kind of things. These are 19th century practices. 200 years later, we are still talking about it. It shows we are not a serious people. You go by the farmers go lease hectares of land for their farming activities. The same thing with other people who are involved in private business. Because it is Miyetti Allah, their government is afraid of whatever interest they have there, they are telling governors to bring land. Whose land are you going to confiscate for that? It's a private business. It's the Miyetti Allah people working for the federal government of Nigeria. Are the cows belonging to federal government or the Federal Republic of Nigeria? The cows belong to individuals who are businessmen. So the way the farmer goes to lease land from communities or pay whatever to government, go and lease your own land. Go and negotiate with the community. Go and then do ranching. We are talking about ranching here. And somebody is talking about open grazing. So governors cannot do it. In places that after, like Tinubu state governor made some announcements some other time that there's a land in Uzuwani, they are trying to map out land, or they are still even in the process of consultation. And the community, it went to haywire. Some people picked it, did what it was a huge outcry. They have not even started. They were just trying to do the preliminary work. That is how people are not in any way attuned to that kind of thing at all, because of the antecedents of Miyetti Allah in the past. There have been issues of clashes. There have been issues of deaths. There have been issues of killing. There have been issues. Even the one that was in 2016, in the same place that the governor of Tinubu wanted to bring that, they're talking about bringing land for grazing. People were massacred in that place in 2016. In the other one. So people, we are having what's happening in Agatu. We are seeing what is happening everywhere. So there's a bad image, a bad reputation about the activities of headers. Oh. And that is why people are very, very, very scared. Everybody wants to survive. And so, if that has been the reputation, then why are you trying to force people to collect their land? Even if the land is domiciled with the state governor still needs to then negotiate with the community. And government, at the state government level, at the federal level, have no business seizing people's land to give to headers. It's a private business, and government must. So what government can do is create policies like anti-grazing policies, like ranching, and be able to say, okay, any businessman who wants to lease land, just like farmers lease land for farming, can come, and then the process can be done with the host community. We can't force it down the throat of people. We are not in a jungle. We are not a banana republic.
Okay.
We have a constitution.
All right. Thank you so very much, Dr. Ambrose. Now, I'm going to come to you, Barrister. It's quite interesting to note that the federal government at this point is deciding to prosecute Bello. Now, I want to ask a question. Is it possible that a judicial precedent can be set with this particular move? Or is there the possibility that this is just going to be another kind of politicking statement?
Yeah, like I told you, it is the political will that matters in anything. When it comes to security, corruption, and all that, it is the political will. If the leadership does not have the political will, we are wasting our time. Let me give you a few examples. Remember when some governors were properly jailed by the courts? How these same governors were brought out from prison, and they were even given national honors. I think, was it not Akume or something, Yame, somewhere in the Plateau or Benue? They were brought out from prison. Is that not crippling the efforts of the anti-graft agencies? But look at it, when EFCC was set up in 2003 under Obasanjo, and Nihu Rubado, set out to do his job. Even his own Oga, Tafa Balogu, we also saw what Nihu Rubado did to him. That was when anti-graft agency was working, because the government does not have any interest in anybody. they gave Hurubadu a free hand to operate. That was why that man did some job. He brought fear into all these corrupt politicians. But immediately Obasanjo left and Rubadu left, the subsequently we don't know what happened. They watered it down, and then EFCC is no longer what it used to be. So it is the political will. When you have a leader who is not, who doesn't have the political will, or a leader that is corrupt himself, he will find it difficult fighting corruption. That is just the cross of the matter. This Miyetti Allah man now, if you ask me, because of where he belongs and the people behind him, this matter may not go far. You know, I told you, I gave them benefit of that they want to prosecute him. But from antecedents of these people and the way they do things, the matter may not go far. This keeping him in detention is to cool tempers and all that. By the time you and I forget about that man, they will quietly release him. We have seen it happen before. By the time you and I forget about this man, they will release him. That man, Wadume, remember Wadume? What happened to his case? Do you know that that particular army man who was involved in that killing and all that, he has sent overseas for training. He has even been promoted. Are you aware? That is what government does when they want to protect those who are in their good book. They will use every means to protect you. Look at Oji Carlo. That one is even the most surprising judicial announcement I've ever had. Oji Carlo was properly jailed by a judge. He was to walk into prison. You know what they did? They now promoted Oji Carlo, the man, the judge that handed down that sentence on Oji Carlo. They promoted him to a higher bench and backdated it. Can you imagine? And there is a law that if you are handling a case and you have been promoted, you don't have any business on that matter again. That's what the law says. If I started from Lagos State here, when Osibajo was the Attorney General of Lagos State, they used that law to save Oji Carlo. Meanwhile, the man has already done this thing before the promotion came up, but they backdated it just to save Oji Carlo. So you can see, it is the government. Everything rises and falls on leadership, just as our Reverend late Chino Achebe said. Leadership, the problem of Nigeria is leadership. We have never had any leader who will take this country to the next level. That's the problem we have.
All right, then let me come to Dr. Ambrose now, Igboke, as we gradually coast home now. We're talking leadership, we're talking insecurity, we're talking people carrying guns, we're talking state actors, non-state actors now. Now, with what's your take on these issues that have happened in the past few days, where kidnappers, I would rather call them kidnappers, I don't want to use the word bandits, where kidnappers are demanding ransom. Now, for the 187 students kidnapped in Chikun, they have demanded 1 billion naira ransom. You also heard of the 40 trillion naira and other things attached to it being demanded for the 16 people that were kidnapped as well. And the president is saying, look, go in there, get these people out, we will not pay shishi. Do you think government should just pay and get these people out? Anyway, I don't want to preempt you. I don't want to box you into a corner, rather. I don't want to box you into a corner as you respond. Just, what do you think should be done in all of this?
It was the late Abacha that was quoted as saying that if insurrection lasts more than 24 hours, then it means some people's hand are in it. I will maintain, which I've always done in national TV and radio, that the Nigerian Army and security services has what it takes to stop these acts. Why it is not happening, I don't have that information.
Now let me interrupt you quickly here. Let me interrupt you quickly. In response to that, in the news today, The Nigerian army is saying, look, they cannot bombard because the kidnappers are using the abductees as human shield. And
there's
the
what you call
terrain.
precision strike. See, my brother, I'm sorry for cutting you. There's what you call precision strikes. All these are excuses. There's people who don't know about military operations.
Yeah.
What is the drone for? There's what you call precision strike. The technology that America is using to wipe out terrorists or whatever, they are here. We report them. We have Tucano jets. We have all those things. Then we have drones. We have intelligence gathering. We have geolocation and geomapping.
Do we really have those
We
things?
have the GIS.
Do we really
So
have
what are we
those
talking
things?
about?
Do we really have those things? Yes, on weekend you're
We
saying
have
that we don't even have tracking devices in
I
Abuja.
said we have. I said we have them. Go and steal money and say where they will track you, whether your phone is working. They will track you to your
I don't want to find out that way.
They will track you. But they will track you. That's why you know that we have it.
They have the technology.
You understand
You're
it?
right.
So we leave all
Besides-
this till we have them. So why are we not using them? So we are saying human shit. These people can be taken out. Are they in mass? Do we need Elon Musk to give us his spacecraft to go to Mars for holiday? No. They are here in Nigeria. They are in our forest. Most of these places are national parks. In fact, most of the houses they stay are houses were abandoned when we built for Operation Feed the Nation in the 70s. We have farm settlements. Who gives them money? Where do they take the money to? The money they collect? Which market do they go to? Where do they deposit the money? So let's not even pretend that we cannot tackle this issue. They are not beyond Nigeria. Who are they? Who are these ragtag guys that have come to threaten our security? It's because we are not dealing with them now.
Oh, all right.
Besides,
Thank you so much, Doctor.
the Western world have offered to help us. They have, on several occasions, they have offered to help.
Do we need help? Because if we get help will come with something else.
What else?
A commitment. We will be indebted. And how will that affect the sovereignty of Nigeria?
We are talking of insecurity here. Maybe there is something I must let you know here. Whenever the American CIA has a very naughty case to tackle, do you know that they invite the Israeli Mossad? They collaborate with them. Are you aware?
Yes, I am.
Good. They collaborate. That's why whenever anything happens to Israel, America will come to their rescue. Because they know that they are doing something together. And these two secret services, they are the best in the whole world, especially the Israeli Mossad. What is wrong in telling? They came once. Remember, they came once. There was a time they brought them. That was Jonathan. They have already planned the operation. They said they wanted to use gas or something to incinerate the forest. And they were wearing their own mask and all that. Do you know that when these people entered inside the forest, they saw the same people that they were going to wearing masks again to prevent the gas from working on them. They now ask themselves, who told them what we are going to do?
Okay, that brings me.
There is sabotage.
That brings me to this, Barrister Darlington. You know, an international organization have actually come up to tell us that we have approximately 30-something camps, hideouts for this military in the forests here in Nigeria.
Terrorists.
Yes. But now, do you think what is actually making us not to do what we're supposed to do? Because we also remember that during the time of Jonathan's administration, a political elite made a statement saying that attack on this particular people who actually on the insurgent groups actually is attack on a particular set of a particular people in Nigeria. Do you think that that's actually what is playing out now? As you give us your concluding thought.
It is obvious. It is that what I've been telling you, that these people have been pampered silly over the years. And they are still being pampered up to today. Seriously. You can see it. It is obvious to even people who don't know anything about security. Because most times, when these people are apprehended, you hear phone call or something like that. Even policemen have confessed, Even the military that are fighting, they have told us how when they are at the 11th hour, when they are to strike, they will get order from above for them to stay action. We have had so many stories. So the statement being made by some northern leaders is obvious to everybody, especially that Sheikh Gumi. What he has said and done so far, I don't know why that man, nobody have arrested him. I just don't know why. He has made so many inflammatory statements concerning these people, telling us that we should negotiate with them, that anybody that attack them, they are their boys. You know, he has said severally.
All right.
So you don't need anybody to tell you that.
Let's get your concluding thoughts now as we get to wrap up.
My concluding thought in all this is this. Go and write it down. If Tinubu does not fight this insecurity, they may bring down his government too. Because no progress can come where there is insecurity. No investor will come here. Tinubu should know that. So whenever he's promising us he's going to do this, he should reckon with these terrorists. They will sabotage his efforts.
All right then. Dr. Ambrose Igboke, let's get your concluding thoughts as well.
Nigeria is bigger than any individual. Nigeria is bigger than any section. Nigeria is bigger than any political consideration. When we have a country is when we have all these other considerations. But when we don't have a country, those things vanish. Therefore, our efforts should be geared towards only sustaining Nigeria, making Nigeria develop, increasing our economy, and making us come back to the Committee of Nations, where the GDP will increase, where the ordinary Nigeria will even be coming back from the diaspora to come home, as we did in the 60s and 70s. Nigeria has too much potential, and it cannot fail.
All right, thank you very much. We've been speaking with Dr. Ambrose Igboke, who is the coordinator, Public Affairs Analyst, Enugu Chapter. And in the studio with us, we've had Barrister Darlington Agomo, who is, of course, a barrister at law. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for staying with us on the program.
Thank you, Moses, and have a nice weekend.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We'll go on a break now. When we come back, we'll delve into business. That'll be followed by entertainment and sports. Stay with us.